Let me check this. Did I go live? Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm going to be working on more UI stuff. So last time I left off, I was working on this menu right here. The switch menu. Let me just. So that's when you switch out a party member for another one. So I think what I have to do though, before I sort of texture the red part and pattern it all out, is I started designing the tablets for each party member, sort of like the button that you select when you're picking which one you want. But I need to figure out like what they do when they're animated, and then accommodate that space within the background tablet. So let's see. Yeah, like if I get into a battle, let's see. When I go to switch party members, this is what I get. And right now you got like that little blue highlight around it, little outline. But that's temporary. So you got a few options. It could be like the whole tablet like changes color, but a little bit of animation would help too. Yeah. 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 Um I think just like raising it, like sliding up would be, I think, enough. Let me just figure out what I've got for code in here for each one. So switch party member window. Okay, select is just. Let me get back to here. We have a select and deselect function, which is just to show and hide the highlight. And then we're going to put in an animation that just lifts it a bit. So I'd have to go to somewhere where I had a tween animation. On the greater battle menu would be easier to find the code I need. I can never remember off the top of my head how to do it, but let's see. Okay. Yeah, like right here. And then that was the switch party member window. So, and then we're awaiting this tween to be finished. What do we call that? It was tween fin. Okay, tween dot finished. And then instead of the switch menu background, oh, it's just this. Okay. This particular window. I don't have these variables. The X value will be the current one. And the Y value, because they're all going to be like in different spots. Although they might just be like 0 relative to where they are currently. Like 0 within the scene. Let's see here. Yeah, no, I guess because their position's just 0, and then they're within another scene. But if I just set their position, then it would. But yeah, well, we could see how that works. Let's try that. X stays the same, and then try 20. I suppose. And then this will get set back to 0. Okay. That's very strange. So there's... Okay, so it's not 0. It's 0, that's odd. It's like shuffling them all to here. Okay. Alright, so we do need to make it so that it's the current position. Of each box. So I thought like each box would count as having a position of 0, but no. Let's see what that does. All right, that turning off probably is not going to work because I think I need to set like its original, because just in case there's a way to go between them really fast and select and deselect. I want anytime I move off of it, it deselects and then it sets to like a base value, but I can fix that. Okay. Okay, plus Y was not the correct one because on screens Y moves down, like positive Y moves down. So that's my mistake. That's a very basic one for graphics. And then I guess I'll just set a variable Y. So no matter what its current Y position is, we'll have a base one to refer back to. So it's just like what it's initialized at in that menu. Okay. So let's see. Let's see if 20 pixels is enough. I'm probably going to have to... Oh, game crashed. All right. Non-existent vector 2 instructor. Constructor. What did I put here? It's probably... That's interesting. Okay. Position... I guess it's a double, but... do I need to float it? No. That probably wouldn't be good anyway. Let me just look up the vector 2. Yeah, no, Vector 2 takes float. Okay. I guess I can cast a float. Expected closing call after arguments. Oh, okay. This is a different way to cast in another language. Right. This is more like Pythonic. Okay. Oh, right. One more bracket. And then, let's see. I switched up how I have my scene set in OBS, but I think I need to just go into studio mode to reset a capture that I have like set up as a scene. Right, there we go. So then if I go back to there we go. All right, perfect. Let's check how that works. Okay. Okay, well, that's not good. The top row seemed to work good. There must be something about the way that I'm setting up their... Yeah, okay. For some reason, they seem to all be starting with a value of... Okay, so the base Y level is their position Y, which I guess is just 0 for all of them. But why is that? That doesn't make sense. Is it something about the way grid containers works? Okay, we'll check out their transforms. These ones down here. I want to just have everything expanded, or I want to have the same one expanded whenever I go to the next one, but... Alright, so this one, position is 360, 0. And then that one is 180, 0. Oh, it's 0, 0, 180, 360. And then that would be like 480. But this should have a Y component. Yeah, 102. Okay. And that one's 204. So then why... Yeah, if I'm setting the Y, then we should get it. Like that one that was 102 should be stored at 102. And then it should be like minus 20. Why is that? Let's just print something out. Index plus position X plus position Y. All right, let's grab these. What's wrong with this? Oh. Okay. Let's try that again. I just want to print out the position Y and see if anything gets changed, like when it's being initialized. I might have to also remember to deactivate all of them. No, they probably get deselected, like de-highlighted anyway. Although the highlight might have been left on, so it might leave the position out of place. Although if the highlight was doing it and then you pop the menu back in and it has the same one selected, that might be okay. Let's see. Okay. So what's printing out here, they all have X and Y positions of 0. But the X position isn't changing. Is that because of how I'm doing it? They're keeping the correct X position. But yeah, they do start with 0. Oh, I don't know. Is it because I'm referring to the node? I thought I did that for Y. Okay, well, let's try that again. Okay. No constructor of vector2 matches the signature vector2 variant float. Is that not what I have up above? What's different than what I have up above? Okay, let me check my brackets here. Okay. We've got one around vector, and then we have one around tween property. This one we have... No, not that. Okay, wait. This is the vector. Yeah, there we go. All right. Got it. Let's check that. I'll reload the game if it actually works. Okay, so the tablets are staying in place, but they're only going up. That was the problem before. So I think what I need to do is set the off position to 0. Yeah. Okay, right. Because I was just taking their position Y, which like was being raised and then it was staying that way. I'm pretty sure that'll work. So I'm just gonna quickly reload the game window. Okay. Let's check that out. I wanted to put the full screen. Okay. That should work. Let's wait for this turn to go through. Just gonna check on something. Okay. Oh yeah, there. Oh no. Okay. Why? These bottom rows are having a problem. The top ones are working exactly like I want. I might have to go into the remote tab and see what it's actually reporting as their values. So for their positions. Okay. So we have the player control panel, the switch menu, and in the backup party box, we have this. Let me load that up. We had that first one showing 0. I do gotta move the chat window. Right. So it was 0, 0 for X and Y, but now it's -20 because I just have it raised. So if I move off of it, it goes back to 0, 0. But then the second one is 180 and 20, or -20. And then when I move off of it, it's 180 and 0. When I move on to this one, what would that be? Number 7? Okay. This one that is raised now is 360 and 82. But then when I move off of it, oh, it goes to 0. Okay. Okay, but I stored what it starts at, I thought. Because it's going to 0. That, yeah. So X is not changing. So something about what I'm doing with X is correct. Okay. X is going from position X to the same position X. This one's going from position Y minus 20. Oh, to 0. I guess I could just do position Y plus 20. I just didn't want to, like, if you could somehow double select. Or double deselect. Because then, yeah, I'm not sure why storing it didn't seem to work, but okay. Can worry about that later if it actually becomes a bug. Famous last words, though. Because it would be nice to have, like, a position where they're anchored to, like an on and off position, but it's almost like it was considering it 0. Maybe it's because the node wasn't ready yet. Okay, but that's the behavior I want. That's good. Can I go fast enough to fuck it up? Oh, yeah. Okay, they're sliding off. Yeah, that was weird. Yep. Yeah, okay. So that's no good. I think I want you to be able to like smoothly animation cancel like if you're flipping back and forth, but that if the last thing you did was deselected, it goes to like an anchored position and not because what's happening is I'm selecting and deselecting and they're not waiting for each other to finish. And it might not take away all of the Y value before it starts adding it back. And then it just finishes and then we end up somewhere in the middle. But yeah, okay, when they were ready, I printed their X and Y positions and they were 0, but then when I look at them in the inspector, they're not. So that's very strange. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Do grid containers work by like instantiating all of its elements at 0, 0, 0, and then like move them or something like that? Because then, yeah, why was I getting 0, 0 here when I printed it? Let me try that again. Okay. Even that, would that explain why the X is fine? Maybe just I'm not changing it. Let me get the actual node here. Okay. Let's check that out. Okay, what did we get? Oh yeah, they're all 0. Or well, the index is all 0. That's very strange. So this is there. It's ready. It's 0, and then I guess the battle scene. Okay, this party box is has like a grid container in it, and then it has positions within that, and then I guess those are getting overridden with their actual positions after. Okay. That works. Okay. So you don't want to do it when they're ready. When the outer box is ready, we're getting the correct X. So what am I looking at here? Okay. You can, when you select and deselect, those are already set. Yeah, okay. I have to figure out how to like defer to the box that contains them. Because I could set like a variable outside for like the row, but you know what? Actually, we have the index, so we can do some math. All right, so 0 through 3 would be oh god, how do I want to do it? Because it's gonna have to be like actually the real values. Like I almost have to know the separation between them, and like that's like magic numbers though, which are all over the code anyway. But okay, what's the separation between them? It's 204. No wait, up 102 pixels per row. So all right. All right, so 102 times index mod 4. Because yeah, so 0, 1, 2, and 3 mod 4 would be 0, and the next four numbers would be 1, the next four would be 2, and then it's multiplied by 102. The index should be set. Let me just check that. Well, no. The index is just 0 because it just has a default index. Yeah. So we can't even use the index. The index is set by the grid container. Might have to just add some code to the grid container. Okay. Although there's probably a way of setting that base value after. I mean, the view is always updated, like, just trying to figure out what the easiest way to do it is. See, I want to see when it does, oh, the backup party box has its own code. Okay, so when that is ready, all right, well, what happens if I do this? We'll swap this back out for the base Y level. And then we'll try to set it the correct way. Invalid get index Y on. Okay, yeah, no, that's why. All right. Yeah, no, that's not correct. It's setting them to 0. That's not what I want. Just switching some stuff up. So maybe the best place to do it to set their base Y levels would be when the views are updated. But I'm trying to figure out when I do that. Okay, so these are the controls. When I fill the boxes, which I guess is being called from somewhere else, then you assign the party member. And then you update the view. I mean, you could just do it. It should already be done here. This is kind of sloppy, but should already have it here, so. Because then when you hover over it, it's setting that level before putting it up, and then it would have to go up before going down. That's kind of a little bit odd, but that might work. Okay. Let me just reload. Change it yet. Here, I'm going to reload that and then put my game on the screen. Yeah. All right, perfect. I'm fingers crossed this works. But the values of the position of those boxes should be set by the time that you get there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Can't get my scene straight here. All right. So each one of these tablets will like pop up a little bit when you select it, and then it should go back into place anytime you are out. So we need to test if you like exit the menu and go back in. Okay, same one selected, but that's fine. Might even be what you want. And if I didn't, it wouldn't be an issue with the animation. I just kind of ballpark 20 pixels, but looks fine. So then when I design that like red panel behind it, now I can have an idea of like, okay, if this is the type of animation I want, then I would be able to show maybe some like sliding, like grinding texture underneath in the panel, or like where it slides up from. There might be like a track. I mean, I can texture it higher up than 20 pixels, but it gives me an idea of like, okay, this is the type of animation I'm going for, so I'll make that kind of texture underneath. And that's better than having the little outline, because it just gives it a little more tangibility, I guess. I think it would be good to change the sprite too. So like the background, that like orange box, change the color, give it like a highlight color, maybe brighter. But I haven't textured the first version of it. But just to get a sense, I mean, I'd have to have a sprite to swap out anyway, so I could just plug that in and like put the code for it to change. All right, so let's see, what do we got here? It would just be the box background, I guess. Pretty much. Okay, so let's go to a sprite, and we had this. So I guess I'll duplicate it. I can just put like in a basic version of it for now once I do the like texture of it, and then like kind of copy it but like color shift it or something. So even as simple as something like that. So yeah, I guess we can change that right here and just change the texture of the box background. I don't know if I've swapped a sprite and code before in Godot. So let me see how you just load up an image, right? Or honestly, it might just be easier to just duplicate the node, have it hidden by default, and then we'll have this one be like that, and then we'll show one and hide the other. And then when you deselect, we'll do the same thing, except in reverse. Okay. Okay. This is very, very slight highlight. Reload that. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. It works. But I might need to be a little more dramatic with the highlight here. But I can really texture whatever I want. I can have like a symbol on it or something. Although I don't think there's room for that. Because the longest the name can be, it would cover the corner. But something. I mean, it's obvious which one is being selected, but we can go farther with the color. Let me just check my... I had the color palette laid out in like ramps. Because I don't know what would be above that orange color. And I can't remember that anymore. Let's see. Where is that? I had an image showing it. I posted it somewhere. I'll just have to grab that. I might have to save it again because I don't know. It was just an image, like sort of a reference for my color palette. All right, so that highest orange goes to the highest red also. It just, there's like a bridge between the two colors. Let me see if that reloads right away. Oh yeah, that's nice and bright. I mean, it'll be textured, but like as a base color for that, it's pretty good. That's looking not bad. So I guess it was more important than nailing down the exact colors or the texture or the look of these tablets was to nail down its animation. And then if I'm happy with that, then it gives me a sense of like where I would like to go with the panel in the back here. Because if it comes up and see that dark brown space that gets revealed, you know, underneath it, it could be like, what's underneath there? Like a little sliding tablet, like stone scratching against stone. It could be like a little, like almost like a hole, and there could be pistons in it or whatever to sort of expose the tablet that you're looking at. I think that's important. I wanted to really get the that background panel textured and nailed down because it'll be pretty much static, but animating the textures over top allows me to do that. Okay, that menu is looking all right. Items is bad. Still need to work on that. I need to implement like a scrolling, because with skills, I can cap it at 8. There's not going to be more than 8. And then, well, let me see if I'm happy when you have like, I mean, I didn't finish it, but like when you have more than 8, am I happy with the whole thing showing? It's okay. I do want that description box to pop out here, so I guess the whole size of it is still okay. I don't want this skill to be at the bottom. It should have been at the top. And then just this like basic menu where you would choose the option that you want. It's pretty good. Could be better, actually. I don't know. I can work that a bit. Um, this is a better spot to be until I put something here. And I said last stream I was thinking of putting the battle clock here, but so that you can see the menu. Yeah, I don't know. The buttons, the blue buttons look a little tiny bit flat. It could be better. It's all right. Partly what's bothering me is that I put one texture for the button, and I don't know, I was just making like stone imperfections or whatever, and I made this little scratch, and you see 5 of them down here, so I almost want to make like 5 different ones. Just to give it some variation. It's just a place where like it's not like automatically filled with like, you know, the skills will populate itself with 8 different of some button type that I make, but I could just make this whole menu look a little bit more, each button is more bespoke. The button could be invisible. The button itself could be invisible at this point. And then just have a background where it's like 5 of them stacked on top of each other, and then sort of like paint that with different imperfections and variations. I noticed that these icons are not coming out clearly, so I need to fix that. I might need a smaller scale version of them. Are they 80 by 80? Need to check. Let's see. Yeah, like it just kind of gets crushed down. I didn't think it did, but they don't look bad at this scale, but I think they're 80 by 80. And then what? Yeah, no, okay. The size I actually allocate to that UI element is 40 by 40. So I need to fix that. The panel on the bottom here, I mean, it's more or less set in stone. So the sizing of everything, like that's what I was doing this whole time. So the resolution's probably just too small for that. What is my resolution? I'm just gonna take a quick bathroom break. Let's see. Let me just check my mic. I'll open my Twitch stream. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. In that case, I guess I'll do the background of the Switch menu. Let's open that up. Okay. It might be useful to pull in a view of the game that I can turn on and off in this view. I mean, it's really tiny, but just to look at like where this is going, because I can sort of express that way. Now, you know what? Better. I just switched to the full screen if I'm going to show that. Right, so the idea is I wanted to make it like a more of a stone wall type of, give it some shape. And then this area right here, I thought maybe if there's some sort of indicator that's like relevant to the game, I can have it sort of cradled at the top of this tower thing. So it might be good to design this as like, this is one piece, and then there's sort of a bridge between it, and then this panel has like sort of like a wider cap here. So that makes sense to me. I'm going to treat this almost like a tower of a castle or something, or a turret. Let me just separate this into a chunk. And then this one too. Okay. Might worry about it later though. Getting this is probably more important. Let's see, how does that look in the game again? Yeah, the spaces between each of the boxes is probably the easiest to figure out what I want to do with. Because actually this one is only, is it 3 pixels? Yeah, it's 3 pixels. These are 5. So maybe the top edge of it is like 2 pixels of highlight. We can make it like rougher later, but I don't think it needs to be darker. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's like in the background enough. But it'll just give it a little bit of volume. And then maybe a single pixel of highlighting on these. But just generally making it feel like square, but with a bit of an edge. I don't want a lot of detail in here to like distract. probably just put the same highlight on the bottom one, even though it's not like a rounded thing. We'll just see how that looks for now. What's lower than this color? Lower than this color is like that. I mean, that's not bad for the horizontal ones. I would say even that when it pops up, like the fact that your eye's going to perceive like a little bit of shadow that like is covered and it goes away will just bring more attention to the tablet in a sense. But maybe just a single transitional pixel here would be enough. We can keep that. It's such a small edge, we can keep it here. It just makes these sort of cradles that the tablet are sitting in feel deeper too. All right, am I missing? I'm missing one right here. And here. And here. Okay. And then we have to go and add these. I think maybe I like it having that where like this just crosses over here because it makes it look like a sharp corner. So maybe I do like it like that. Sometimes I avoid that and just make like the corner is the in-between tone, but it makes it look less sharp. And this kind of shading is obviously very easy. What I'm doing, it's still just blocking out the shapes. Like I'm going to add more like stone texture to it. Just kind of feeling out how the shapes look. See, that makes it look a little more like, you know. This bottom here is, I think, maybe mostly not visible. No, it's visible like a ways down. Actually, not very. Let me get over to here. On the left side, it's a little more visible at the bottom. Whoa. Control S to save. That's not what I meant to do. No OBS. Okay, there we go. Okay. I want this to have a bit of an edge, but I don't necessarily want to have like a block that's separate here. Maybe just the implication of it, but like that the tablet has a sort of cap, but I don't want a different texture running across the entire background of it, which you can anyway, because most of it is like fully taken up by the darker spaces, which are where the tablets are sitting in, and then like you can't really have. I mean, I guess you could have like at the same level a bit of a separation, but it doesn't look great. Let's see. The top of this can be pretty pronounced. The right side of it is like not visible at all. Like the most visible parts are this area right here and this. So I'm gonna carve out a little bit of this. Maybe like 3 pixels and then 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just give it a bit of a curve. Is that too much? I don't even think I need that. I think that is fine. You know, if I wanted to raise it up a bit, because I think this tower, maybe even by like 3 pixels, this curve could be more dramatic. Than the right side. So I think even that looks a little better. Just I won't bother to show it on screen. It's not really anything yet, but no, might as well. Just more testing the measurements of it, right? So yeah, I think that it kind of, I like how it almost curves down with this thing. It's not super pronounced, but it sort of accommodates the shape of it. And then this is prominent enough where if I did put something kind of important on it, then it would be visible. I don't want this like turret to itself to be very prominent or super eye-catching, but just enough to sort of be an indication like, yeah, it's this menu's open. So let's see. Yeah, I want to give it like a rounded feel. So I guess this next color down would be like shading that tower, and then the next color down would be the shadow that it casts on the bridge area. So something like that, and then I need to work the shape of these sort of pegs, but maybe say about that much, roughly. Probably delineate like a line that separates these areas. To start with, and then yeah, I could shade below. Same with this, I could make the sort of farther recesses of this sort of cup, especially on this side where not as much light would hit it, darker. Maybe even extend that out a couple pixels. Because what I want to do is take the darker tone and shade this side. And shade that side. Having right, so having this not align with that and this not align with that would be see. It would give it like it's it has its own volume. This is not great, but I'm going for like giving these pieces a bit of shape. And then like a bit of brick. Like something like that. Just make those patterns somewhat irregular. Make this thicker. I think this has bothered me with my color palette for a while, but I don't have any color between this and this. So it's quite sharp, but I think I also like to stick with the restrictions I've sort of set out for myself and try to get as much out of it as I can. I think I need that darker shadow like right underneath this cap. Sort of stretching out into here. Just to give it that little extra weight. So this is what I kind of have in mind. No one's here to see. Maybe somebody will see in the VOD. My cat is scratching at the door to try to get in, but I can't let them in this room because I have a 3D printer and it's a resin printer, so I just don't want them messing with it. But I'm going to bring my cat in. Just for a second. Also, she likes to walk on keyboard, so I can't have her in when I stream. I'll have to kick her out in a second, but she's trying to walk on my keyboard right now. Hello. Oh, all right. I'll let you know. All right. I wonder if while I'm doing pixel art, if it would be worth my time to just temporarily switch my category to art. Just as a test. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now, so. Instead of software and game development. Might grab a different audience. Although I think like pixel art and like the A Sprite streams, which a lot of like indie devs are doing, like people know it's for like game development. And that's probably what the audience of people who like to watch this type of thing prefers too. But yeah, we'll see if anyone joins. Just check how it looks so far in the game. I do have to reload it. Okay, we're getting the problem again where I'm loading multiple battles at once. I'm probably just not properly killing the previous one. But anyway, we see that little tower down there. It feels maybe not bright enough. I mean, I don't want it to draw a ton of attention, but it's sort of muddy with the snake in the background, although what it's muddy with in the background might totally depend on the lighting in the scene and well, the sprite should be the same color, but like the floors and stuff and like what I have there. I mean, if I had a more gray floor and or like a greenish coppery type of floor, like this type of color, it'd be easier to see. So I don't know if I should adjust it just for that. But anyway. Okay. So yeah, for this tower, I only have to go like so far down because you can only really see down to here or something like that. Okay, I'm gonna add more highlight. Maybe a transition pixel or two. But I'll make that go further down, and then I'll add some brick. And this could... I don't know, should come up to like here maybe? That looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks right. Yep. Yeah, no, that looks right. I can go darker here for a shadow if I wanted to have a little bit on the tower itself and then I mean, where the shadows sort of like crush down and get a little muddy where the edge of it is, it's like not even bad. I can. I don't want to have like long straight rows like this because it sort of breaks the curve of the tower. Even this right here, it can sell it a bit better if I take these and lower them by a pixel, because then they're lower than this brick on the outside. So I'm just trying to give an impression of it. Let me just check something here. Computer's getting a bit hot. I don't know if that's OBS or the fact that I had my game running. Okay, it's not bad. Maybe I have a bit of shadow casting over this side. Oh, whoops. Want this. Just slightly. So maybe just the top ridge of it a little bit. Oh, you know what? This is cutting into this. That's not what I want. This is where I want the shadow to be. See that right there can be still covered up, and then you can see a bit of the top ridge here. This is probably too thick right here. Get that, and Would 3 pixels be going too far? I might be able to like draw lines across it that would give the impression of brick. We'll do a 3 pixel wide line. And then that shadow might even still be too thick. Like it's just too much, even though I think the tower ends here and then you get a little bit of a shadow cast, but the whole thing is like shadow. So like we could really have like dark brick lines coming up from there, but I want this to be darker actually. Maybe just a little more here. Maybe a little less here. Then we could do a bit of a highlight, like if the sunlight's shining over here, that could be a little bit highlighted. But then we like brick across it. Maybe not right there. Had a little imperfection to it. To do a little bit of like roughness on the edge here. Like enough pieces coming out from directly on the edge of it that you don't really know like if it's the shadow's rough or if it's like part of a brick line. That looks like an alright start. Let's see how it looks in game. I do have to reload that. Okay. Let's check it out. Okay. I think that covers everything you can see from the turret and the wall. And then it's this whole panel that you see. Right. Yeah, that's good. That's not bad. Okay. Yeah, I can deal with that. I like breaking down like big pixel art like that into chunks. So like do the turret, do the bridge, and then I think the next one would be probably the holes that are when you pop up the panels here. I don't think you can go much darker and have a lot of texture, but you could maybe some of the scraped off parts could have like a lighter tone. All right. So I think what I want to do is take one of these. They're on a different scale. But basically. I guess if there's a scraping stone on stone track, it would be where these pegs are, and then maybe that one and that one. So let's see. Let's copy it and then delete, and then let's see how close we can get to that. Okay. These, I think, are moving to the right a bit. Okay. This one's dead on. This one needs to move over left by 2 pixels. This one needs to move right, and this one needs to be wider. Okay, let's see what we got here. This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. This one needs to go over by 1 pixel and then maybe grab another pixel. Perfect. Okay, so basically measured out where those areas were, and then we can make a column where we can draw the track in and then just sort of design that for each of the boxes. So like if the tablet is sliding, it'd be sliding along these tracks. And like most of it is not going to be exposed, right? Hardly any of it will be. But it could be as simple as like as that, you know? I want it to be pretty close to the bottom because that part is what's exposed, but try not to go overboard with the ones in between. Add a little bit to here. And most of this will not be seen. There is a darker shade that we can use for this. Okay. I'll have to test how it looks in game before I bother to copy and paste them all over the place. I think it's coming along. Okay. Should probably set it back to having an encounter rate in the game that's just 100% like every time I take a step, because I'm actually surprised at how long this is taking to get a random encounter this time. Okay. Well, there we go. No, I drew it on this one. Okay. So you can see scratches. It's not very obvious that from the little that you can see, that the tracks underneath those pegs are more pronounced. It has some texture. But yeah, I think I might need to so we can add another color to it. So like we can go lighter. That might just be enough to give the impression of it, like stone grinding against stone, like a stone tablet. Let's see. That looks pretty good. Maybe some more pixels in the fourth one because you just get like a single line and then the floor of it doesn't come down quite, but yeah, barring that, because yeah, this one here, these long lines go pretty long. So we'll just fix that. Yeah, no, I mean, that's not bad. Okay. Are these shadows deep enough? No, I don't think they are. This could be, could do more here. Just a little bit there. Not gonna really be able to see much else. But these can all have the same texture. They're not super visible, and there's only one visible at a time. And if I want to go add imperfections later, then now I have the whole image with them. Okay. Oh. So yeah, now it's like the edge up here, that down to about here, and then some of this. But this probably just requires like a bit of a brick texture. I could probably be fairly like thick and heavy handed with it. Even like just do like these kind of let me grab the right color. Do like these and then draw brick lines between them. Let me just see. It's probably easier if I just copy this brick and then they can be a consistent size. So it's just like directly underneath the bottom row, and it goes like 2.5 columns. I can do something like that. Yeah, the rest of this doesn't have to be super complicated. Let's make these rougher like that. Okay, almost done. There was something I wanted to do. Oh, yeah, this side can be lit too. All right, let's try that out and see how it is. Just gonna get into the right part of the game. If it looks good, I mean, that's most of a menu done. Oh, I still got to do those orange tablets on top, though. Okay. Just going through the turn, enemy's turn. Yeah, I mean, let's see, let's make this bigger. It looks a little better on my screen than it does on stream. But definitely passable. The function of it is clear gameplay wise. I can tell which one I have selected. Maybe it's the bottom edge of each panel that doesn't look right. I might need to have something covering it up. Like those 3 gaps at the bottom of each panel. Maybe it should be covered when it's closed, but then when it's open, you see that it has a bit of shape to it. So that could be an option. Hmm. Yeah, it's one option. I don't know if I'll do the orange tablets right now. But I can see more of this than I thought I did. I'll have to add something here. But yeah, it's not bad. I got to figure out how they look whenever there's nothing there, because I think they're right now. I just have like a gray box, but it could be. Well, it would just have to resemble the final tablet, but with um, like nothing on it. Oh wait, something's wrong. I thought I had it. This one keeps going up. Yeah, I can still screw with it. No, that's what I figured. That needs to be fixed. It makes sense because if I'm just like rapidly selecting and deselecting, and my solution was to, when it's selected, set the baseline to its current Y value, I was thinking that would just happen the first time, but no, that was stupid. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Well, we can work on that. I just don't know how to grab it whenever it's acting like it's zero, even though they do eventually get their position from the grid container, but that's like a sign after. I want them to have one and have it be locked in forever. Just kind of blanking though. Hmm. The UI code needs a lot of fixing. I've really been focused on the visuals. Not like you shouldn't. You should like gray box your mechanics and all that, but with the UI, it just seemed like the specific code around like animating it has a lot to do with how it looks. So I don't know. It's hard. Let me just take a look because there should have been no problem with these being in a V box and having their own coordinates, but for some reason it's acting like the grid container, all of the elements are initialized at like zero. Hmm. Hmm. So the one that doesn't change is just their own position.y, and then, I mean, the x changes. It's a little different because the one that changes is a fixed value. Like I just move it over as much as I want it, which is the same for each of them. Their y should be different, but they're not acting like they're 0, so that's good. Oh, I did manually assign the indexes here, actually, now that I think about it. Do these have an index? Oh, God. Oh, I could have done... Oh, yeah. For some reason, they have an index. Do I use that anywhere? I must have anticipated that they needed that, but... I can use that index now for the math. Like I had the idea before. That could be a lot more helpful. Okay, and then these are that, and then I don't want to set the base Y level here. I'm going back to some ideas I had earlier in the stream, but so I'm just gonna have to test that because I just think I kind of did it off memory. Okay. Hopefully that does work. Right. Okay, let's try that out. Wait for that turn to complete. No, that did not. Diagonal. Very strange. Okay. What did I actually do? Okay, position X doesn't change. Base Y level. Oh, the index. Oh, right. Okay, so the index. It might go vertical. Because wait, which one is which? That's index 0. That's index 1, 2, 3. Okay. So mod 4, these would all be 0. And then mod 4, these would all be 1. And these would all be 2. So they have an index. The base Y level. Yeah, it's 102 times their index. Right? Because okay, these ones have 0. These ones in the middle have a Y value of 102. And then these ones in the middle, or at the end, have a Y value of 204. It looks like it's going by column, but it should be going by row. I guess it's like an offset as if it was 0Y for each of them, but then when I actually put 0, they all shoot to the top row. I might just have it if I have the indexes wrong, but I guess if I select, I should just print the index. Hmm. something wrong with the way I'm modding in Godot. Because I'm used to that, but was there something strange about modulo in Godot? I'll have to I'll have to print what the level is next to the index. Okay, all right. So if we look at my console log here, with an index of 0, mod 4 times 102, it's... Oh, wait. It's not mod 4. It should be divided by 4, like floor division. I think it's just floor division. My bad. Okay, that's actually correct. Okay, perfect. That should be better. Give me 1 second. Okay, so now I should have those positions that when it turns on and off locked in. If I just go crazy on it, they're not going to shift out of place because they are going to specific positions. Okay, yeah, that's way better. I can kind of... I can animation cancel so fast I can make it just rise. But then when they finally turn off, they're going to the correct position. So, yeah, I don't know what the best way to handle that is. Everything to do with animation canceling in a UI has been a pain in the ass. I could, I mean, you could lock it so it can't turn off or on until like the previous one. It's like, I don't know what they do. Like, do they queue animations? But I mean, I don't want to stop you from flicking through the menu as fast as you want. I guess the way to do it, I suppose, would just be to not animate down and just to instantly click off. I suppose is what I'm learning. I mean, Sure, that has to be the easiest way. So let's see. Okay, but that's introducing a problem where like you can go between them too fast where you can like turn them on and it doesn't have time to turn them off, I guess. Because it's still in the middle of the animation. It's still in the middle of the tween that you put turning it on. So that's actually no good. Don't want that. I mean, this feels like healthier behavior, but you can shift it out of place. Well, wait, can you only go as high as 20 pixels though? Because I have that position set. Oh, that's not bad, actually. Okay, I thought I was like rising them infinitely. It just gave me the illusion of it. But you can't have them like one of them half hanging on. Because every time you activate one, you're deactivating the other. That's not bad. Okay, that's good. That's what I wanted, actually. I don't know why I freaked myself out, because I had them, when I was just adding to their position, you could do that where you could just have them go up and they wouldn't wait. But no, they're targeting the position of like plus 20 pixels. So they'll go that far, but okay, no, this is fine. Okay. Coming along. I'm thinking maybe these little divots here don't look so great, so this could extend and just sort of cover it too. And that would be below any sort of brick texture. So hold on. Like, I don't know if this alone covers it. Probably. Oh, and then I wanted to add a little bit just like over here. Right. Okay. So yeah, now that's gone. That looks a little better. I don't think these bricks I chose look super even or nice. And maybe this popping over the top. I don't want to make the menu any taller, but I don't know, it could have like a maybe like a background, like the panel itself could have a little bit of a backing to it whenever it pops out. And that that would help when this covers up that. I don't know. I don't hate that you can still see the mana, but it's not necessary because you can just tap off of it to look at that. You know, like you don't need to see like or that like select it if you want to see their health and mana. So I'm thinking like maybe a bit of a backing to separate it from whatever's behind it. Could be okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's test that out. So we want this one. Although, if I use the canvas size up, I don't know that that's going to be placed correctly. Okay, I don't think it will. So I would have to adjust the position of it too. Actually, no, it corrected itself. Oh no, it didn't. Because the text is out of place. Yeah, I would have to adjust the position of it as soon as it's swapped. But that's actually fine. It's easy. I just have to decide how much in advance I want this to stick out. Maybe a little more. And then yeah, maybe a brighter color. So eh. That even feels like it could be too much. Okay. But what I'm going to do is basically the same rounding that's here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We need to measure how long this is. So it says down in the bottom corner that is 17 pixels. And then what is this? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I don't have to put that in code. I just have to shift that up by 17 pixels. So there we go. So then we're switching between not the highlight. Actually, the highlight can go. Let me just double check that nothing actually references it anymore. That. And then that green area would be we can adjust it a little bit, but check out how it looks in game. I feel like what I put there might be a little tall. So yeah, it like covers up the MP of the row above, and it also just kind of disguises on this top row, especially like where it overlaps with that border, it disguises that a bit. And it's bright. It draws even more attention. I mean, I could pick a different color, but I have so many like over textured stuff that even just having a flat color here is kind of nice. I don't know, it's the same like brightness level as the highlight. I might even just leave it like that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's okay. I'm just gonna take another quick break. I'll be back. Actually, I think I'll end stream here. No one's around, and I think I'm happy with what I did today, and I'd like to get a few things done before I gotta go somewhere. So, yeah, if you're catching this on the VOD, thanks for watching. But I'll stream again this week, I'm sure. See ya.